So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my uhuru, which is freedom. Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Peace, family, peace. I know it's been a minute. I am still in Nigeria. Guys, do me a favor, sound check. Press 1 if you can hear me. Again, please press 1 if you can hear me. Again, press 1 if you can hear me. I am still in Nigeria, and Nigeria is not perfect. Nigeria does have its issues. Nigeria has its issues, but I personally love Nigeria. I'm still Omo Niger, and I'm happy to be here. I'm a little exhausted. We had the tour this past week. We arrived here. We made it to Nigeria August 9th. Tour. I just took everybody back to the airport. Well, I took everyone to the airport. Today's Friday. Took them on Wednesday. So now they're back in the States. I'm going to be here in Nigeria till Sunday. Then I had to, where do I head? I had to, where am I going? Well, to Senegal. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still kind of exhausted. I had to Senegal. Actually, I came down with like a head cold, but I feel a whole lot better now. And I was getting medicine and, all this other stuff. But a friend of mine said, Dynast, you're in Nigeria. Get some pepper soup. Some pepper soup. I bought some pepper soup. And when I say the pepper soup did its job, the pepper soup did its job. So ate some pepper soup last night, and I feel a whole lot better. Jay Mula, you got to give me like 20 minutes, and I'll let you on. But guys, do me a favor, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button, and please, if you have not bought the documentary, please go and support the documentary. Again, if you're in this chat room, and you have not bought the documentary, again, if you're in this chat room and if you're watching this, and if you have not bought the documentary, please, that will do it. Exactly. If you have not, Cornelius, have you bought the documentary? I Am African. Have you bought the documentary? Al, have you bought the documentary? Brandon, have you bought the documentary? Guys, I need you guys to go and buy the documentary. Please do. Please support the work. Go and buy the documentary. Go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com. Let me put the link in the chat room and on the screen. Go to searchforuhuru.com. I Am African got it. It was fantastic. The family and I loved it. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the support. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure you go and buy the documentary. If you have not bought the documentary yet, again, please go to searchforuhuru.com, searchforuhuru.com, and buy the documentary. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. And I greatly appreciate the support. I am tonight with the other half. I appreciate it. Please enjoy the documentary, not just with the other half, but with your family, other family, your friends, your neighbors. I mean, go and share with everybody, the documentary. I greatly appreciate it. So make sure you go and buy that, and I will love you all for that. Hit that like button. Also, tours. We are rolling to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone still rolling in November, and that would be the last tour of the year. But again, I do tour packages where I don't have to be on the tours, where I have guides on the ground. So if you're interested in joining us on a tour, let me know. Also, as far as with the tours, okay, everybody comes for different reasons, and so guys, with the tours, okay, one thing I want to make clear, Nigeria, whether it be Freetown, Lagos, Dakar, Osogbo, it's not Atlanta, it's not Los Angeles. It's a complete different experience. Okay, it's a complete different experience. Shout out to Sad Cooper Linus, but I'm gonna do a separate show just on the expectations on what to expect. We're coming on tours. Each country is different. You might come to Nigeria. Nigeria is different from Sierra Leone. They're different countries. And like I said, that's going to be a whole separate show on really, identifying when you come to Africa, what do you want to experience? What do you want to do? And then I can better decide which trip will be, or which country will be best for you. If you love beaches, yeah. Well, no, actually, the code is going away. I had a code, and the code is actually going away. Like I said, I took some pepper soup, ate some pepper soup last night, and I am now doing a whole lot better. But depending on what you're wanting to accomplish with your Africa visit, I could best decide which trip is going to be best for you. Again, I can best decide which trip is going to be best for you, but that's going to be a separate show. So Sierra Leone is coming up. The majority of people who are coming to Sierra Leone are coming for the citizenship opportunity. Again, they're coming for the citizenship opportunity. That's what they're coming to Sierra Leone for. Sierra Leone's right now is the only country that formally offers citizenship to those. Listen, DK, the pepper soup. Again, I was taking NyQuil. In fact, DK, I was taking NyQuil. It was still clogged up. Girl told me, Dynast, eat you some pepper soup. Eat you some pepper soup. And I said, okay. Order some expensive ass pepper soup last night because of the hotel that I was staying in. Pepper soup was expensive as hell. Felt 100 times better. This morning, I still sound kind of clogged up. But trust me, guys, I am doing 100 times better. But But again, we are rolling to Sierra Leone in November. Again, we are rolling to Sierra Leone in November. So if you're interested in going to Sierra Leone, please visit donfo.africa, donfo.africa. And, how do I get on your lines? I'll put the link in the chat room. But visit Donfo, DANFO, Donfo, DANFO .Africa, and to learn more. And then give me a call. Me personally, I'll do a better job of what to expect when going to certain countries. Again, a lot of these countries, I've been telling people in the chat. So we have a WhatsApp group for the everyone who's going to Sierra Leone. I told them, like, listen, look, Sierra Leone is a developing country. Okay, it's a developing country. Therefore, we have to take that into consideration. You're gonna have people asking for money. Sister, senior man, big man. You have gift for me. Nigeria. The minute you show up to that airport, Murtala Muhammad Airport, my sister, my brother, you have gift for me. Hell, you go to ShopRite. The guy that's opening up the door for you at ShopRite, he's expecting a tip. The guy that's opening up the door at Chicken Republic, he's expecting a tip. I mean, that's just how it is when you're in a lot of these developing countries. Unless you're protected on some type of resort, but I really don't do the resort stuff. We going in. We're going in 10 toes on the ground when we go to these countries. So I don't do the resort lifestyle. I don't do it. So we're gonna be immersed into the actual country when we go. So somebody said dress in regular. What's that say? Yeah, so it's just, again, when you're traveling the way I travel and what we do, I mean, you're going to be immersed into actual city life and village life. That's just how I get down. Again, that's just how we get down. We're gonna be immersed into the the everyday life of the countries we're going to. You're gonna see everything. You're gonna see everything. So yeah, but I'll do no, I'm still in Nigeria, but I'll do a whole nother show on that as far as what to expect. Because we're not gonna be like when we travel to Africa, we're not on an exclusive, all-inclusive resort like Cancun or the Bahamas, or I have a friend, she went to Jamaica and she was pretty much on a resort and in the area the whole time. We don't, on my tours, we don't do that. We're gonna be involved, we're gonna be immersed, we're gonna be 10 toes on the ground when we go to these countries. Traffic. I mean, there's Nigerian, there's Lagos traffic. It's what it is. So again, just what to expect when we're traveling. So, but that's a whole nother show. Let's jump into the topic. There we go. Every morning, shout out to Pan African Strikes Back. Every morning I got 20 requests to borrow $40. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, Nigeria is nice. I love Nigeria. I'm actually I'm at the Radisson Blue in the Victoria Island. I use my Radisson points, so I'm gonna stay here for the night. Very nice hotel. Very nice, using my my Radisson points that I've had from the saved up from some past trips. So, I got Sky Miles, I got all types of points. So just using those points, putting those points to work. So I'm in a Radisson Blue right now. It's nice. It's real nice. This Radisson Blue is real nice. And I love Nigeria. Nigeria is not for everyone. But I personally love Nigeria. I'm going to settle here in Nigeria. I'm going to settle here, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. Those are the 3 countries that I'm going to settle in. Here, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. That's where I'm setting up at. Somebody said, I saw you live in the market in Freetown. You're actually really good with negotiating. I was impressed. So O'Shea was here. Me and him did not get up because after the tour, when I took everybody to the airport on Wednesday, I was tired as hell. I was tired. So I was just resting. I'm finally doing the tour's over. I'm finally getting back and doing a live stream. But yeah, I was exhausted. So recovering. Got to head to Senegal on Sunday. In fact, we're going to open up the chat lines because I haven't heard from you guys in so long. We're going to open up the lines and like to get you guys. Nigerians are the most disrespectful to Black Americans. No, Black Americans are the most disrespectful to Black Americans. So, guys, links in the chat room. Click on the link if you want to call in and chop it up. You're more than welcome to call in and chop it up. Again, you're more than welcome to call in and chop it up. So that's the link. I wanted to talk about the whole somebody getting killed at a youth football game. Shit, that's been going on since I was playing youth football in the 80s and 90s. That was going on since I was playing football back in the 80s and 90s. In fact, if you're from South Sacramento, you remember the Sacramento Raiders. Hey, look, me, you gotta put a shirt on, bro. Like, I can't let no man on with no shirt on, bro. Come on, pause. Super pause. I mean, come on, look me. Let me put a shirt on, bro. Nah, bro. I ain't let no man on with no shirt on, bro. Pause. Super pause. Super pause. Okay, thank you. Thank you for putting the shirt on. Thank you, Luck Me. Thank you. Put a shirt on, bro. If somebody's not gonna be wearing the shirt, it's gonna be me. All right, there we go. All right, Luck Me. Go ahead, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me hold on 1 second. Let me grab my
headphones,
my earplugs real quick. Give me 1 second.
For sure. I'm about to put my shit on too. She said put a shirt on. Man, it's like my top half of shoulder. Like, oh, different now. I heard you. Gotcha. Shit, I'm comfortable with my skin. Shit. I need notes. My notes are open. How y'all people doing from the Diaspora?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh no, I always see your YouTube. I'm always on your YouTube channels and I see your discussions and stuff, and I'm like, man, I would love to join this discussion one day. Like, it's very interesting. I love what you're doing too. Showing Africa to the world, and I'm like, this guy's brave. That's brave. Because most African Americans would not. They'd rather go spend their money in Italy, France, somewhere in like, So I kind of like admire what you're doing. So I always wanted to just get in the chat and whatever topics being discussed, I don't mind being part of it. You understand?
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for joining. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find this ear. I'm trying to put my. Hold on one second. Where can I put the goddamn? Hold on. Give me 1 second, brother.
Take your time, boy.
Hey, go ahead, Mashawn.
Hey, I'm not goofy.
Mashawn.
Hey, it's good to. Hi everyone. It's good to see you, Dynasty. Just you know what? That congestion is global. I'm telling you, because everywhere you turn, everybody's congested all across the world. But you got to take that vitamin C. You got to get that in you and keep it in you, because we're fighting this virus, whatever, monkeypox, everything you name it, we fighting it. So I'm preparing to travel because I'm gonna have all my tools with me.
I'm dusty. I'm not in shape. I hear you.
Yeah, we already traveling. I don't let COVID and monkeypox that's not stopping me from traveling. Period.
That's good, but you still want to protect yourself. So
No, you're right.
You still in Nigeria, which I do. I would love to visit. And I heard someone said Nigerians disrespects the Black American because
No, Black Americans disrespect Black Americans. I mean, come on now.
Okay, well, I'm ADOS all the way, apple pie ADOS. But I'm gonna be realistic. It's like even though, listen now, the Nigerians do emulate the Black Americans. I'm gonna tell you that now. They emulate our culture. But
okay, expand on that. When you say emulate our culture, expand on that.
Because Black America, we created a lot of things.
Like what?
Within the 500 years, our food, our clothes, our music, definitely our music, our style, our language. I see some of that in Nigeria big time.
Like what?
Watching the videos, our clothes, our music. You saying like what? Our clothes, our music, our culture.
Afrobeat? Well, Afrobeat was influenced somewhat out of LA, but as far
they
as
don't listen to hip hop. Hey, we done opera.
Mashawn, listen, I'm in Nigeria right now. All I hear is Afrobeat and the shit from South Africa. I'm a piano, whatever it's called. The stuff from South Africa.
Now I'm gonna tell you, Nigerians, I'm into clothing too. But they got some fly stuff out there. I'm not gonna lie. I plan to go shopping.
They be dressed fly as hell. Fly as hell.
Oh yeah, they be fly. I'm like, yo, I want that outfit. But I'm still proud of being ADOS because we did build 500 years and we did expand globally. We bad too. But we do have a lot of issues here in America. Tragic issues that still needs to be discussed and resolved. We got to do something because, listen, the name of my group is the Black American Women Group. We need our own underground railroad. And I'm serious about that today.
I got something to say about that.
We need and I'm in the process. You don't tell your right hand what your left hand is doing. You don't tell your left hand what your right hand is doing. But it's serious up in this piece. It's about to be a damn civil war. And they know that something is coming.
That's a fact.
So God got to make a way of escape for us. But we are the fighters. They killing their own soldiers here in this country.
That's a fact.
Facts. And it's increasing, silently increasing. So you better figure out what side you on. For real.
Why does it have to be the African American woman thing? Why can't it be just the African American thing? Why the woman part?
Okay, someone asked me that not too long ago. He was like, well, what about us men? Of course, you men are always included. You men are always loved, but it seems like Over here, we've been struggling. We got to make power moves on our own to
When you say
survive
we,
for
you
our
say
children.
the black woman.
Black women, that's right. You better believe it.
I feel like
We're the
black
ones
women.
knocking
I feel
down
like
doors,
yes, you are. You guys are knocking down
being
doors. That's for
jumped.
sure. But
I'm
the only
telling
people.
you, being handled physically. And it's like, wait a minute. Where's our men? Where are they?
You know what? That's another thing too with the
They're
black
being
woman thing.
murdered. Hold up. They're being
I'm
murdered.
sorry.
But
Go ahead.
that's
Go
no
ahead.
excuse either. They need to rise up and do something because we put ourselves, I know myself and the people around me, not everybody, put ourselves on the line. When you speak out and you out there, let me tell you, they will target your ass and your family for generations. And that's real
I want
talk.
an opportunity to talk whenever you're done. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you can talk.
Yeah, as far as the black woman thing, when it comes to like America, corporate America, the only two people that really let in are gay black men and black women. Period. They don't really let us, the black men, in there. So when you feel like when you sound like you guys are more, I guess, oppressed than us, that's far from the truth. So far from the truth. That's number one. I also feel like the black woman, and this is how I feel personally. You can whatever. I always feel like the black woman does not in America does not hold the black man down, man. They hold him down in a lot of ways, but not in the uplifting way. Example. I work in a hospital, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of black females in there. I face a lot of oppression and stuff like that. And I always see them looking the other way, like the black women, you know what I mean? I always see them looking the other way, like the black people that are in there. Whenever something happens where, dude, you can just stand up for me, or you can just put a stop to it immediately and let them know that, hey, don't mess with this guy. They always use that excuse, like, I feel like, oh, I got kids to feed and I got bills to pay, and nobody, I'm like, dude, if you keep using that as an excuse, then you're just going to keep dividing and oppressing us. My opinion.
Hey, go. Let's pass it to Brandon. Go ahead, Brandon. Brad, he been Brad, he been causing a lot of trouble since I've been for what I've
Bro, I'm
seen.
out here. Hey, bro, I'm out here on the battlefield right now. You feel me? I got my armor on. Hey, you've been gone, so they start going on attack when they know the big dog is out of town. You feel me? So I just been holding it down. You feel me? But yeah, man, it's always this narrative. Oh, someone's disrespecting black people. Black people are the most disrespectful group of people in America. That's period. Period. This is why, look at Dynast. All you gotta do is go to the other side of town where black people live. Everything's jacked up. People getting killed. Everybody's scared to walk down the street, including black people. Go over to where the whites at. Go over to where the Asians is at. It's not like that. So if when you're not around, everything's all good, but when you're around, things are all jacked up, for including your people, you can't sit up and say that's because of racism. Somebody said, "Oh, redlining hurt our community." No, it didn't, because why didn't you build up the communities you were redlined to? Redlining didn't make you do violence or crime in your community, but redlining stopped your community from being a utopia. It's just all excuses. And then you got people out here trying to fight 100 different battles at once. I'm gonna fight for women's rights. I'm gonna fight for black
Right.
people's rights. I'm gonna fight for this, that, and the other. It's like, why don't you just sit your ass down somewhere and go figure out how you're gonna move forward into retirement without having to be on government assistance? We just have everything messed up, bro. Look at that situation over there in New York or wherever that was, where those little hooligans jumped that cab driver because they didn't want to pay and killed the dude. That was FBA that did that. They killed an immigrant cab driver, but will sit around and say they disrespected us. Dude, you disrespect yourselves every single day when you wake up. And not only just with degeneracy, but even just thinking that somebody is going to do something for you to fix your situation. But man, we are in the last phase. We are in the last phase of evolution for the Black American. This is the part right before we are no longer around. Either we're going to assimilate into immigrant groups, or we're just going to be gone, because these people have,
I think
the internet has destroyed a lot of people's brains. You know what I'm saying? It's given them information overload. So they have so much information, they can't even process all the information. So they just create all these ridiculous, hypocritical narratives that just don't make any sense. Oh, these people are doing this. These people, oh, they're killing it. They're doing just fine. What are you doing? And how are you going to muster an army while you're trying to build an army and fight a war while having internal wars and trying to make up excuses to fight with each other over every little frivolous thing. Linus, it just doesn't even make sense. But I guarantee you one thing: what I'm learning from
That's
my
all
experience,
part of the programming, though. Just
man,
understand
ain't
that.
no
But go ahead.
programming. Ain't no
Okay,
programming.
that's your opinion. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, there's no programming. That's just all a part of degenerate behavior because the same thing you see with black folks in
Mm-hmm.
gangs and stuff who we say, well, this is because the system. You see it with black people who are professionals. You think all these people online are just the lowest echelon of black society? Man, these are people sitting at work right now at their desk with suits and ties on and dresses who know how to code switch and jump up and buck dance for massa when they need to, but they get on the internet to spread vitriol among their own spaces with their people. And let me tell you, the black online community has become nothing more than a reflection of the black physical real community in reality. Just a bunch of fighting, belly aching, talking behind people's back. Oh, I'm exposed this person and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, I've learned a lot, Dinus, and what I've learned is that all we got to do is keep on doing what we're doing. And guess what? The sheep will definitely separate themselves from the goats, bro. And what you're doing right now, you're literally just doing the goat work. You out here making it happen while these other people is out here complaining and making up lies to excuse them not want to do nothing for their own community, but try to gain acceptance and get in closer proximity to the very same groups that they claim are oppressing them. You know what I'm saying? And the jig is up. People are on to black people. They've identified our
Listen,
hypocrisy.
let
And
me
and,
ask you.
and and it ain't working no more.
Listen, I was born in Africa, right? I was born in Ghana. I'm from Ghana, by the way. I was born in Ghana. I came here when I was 13 years old, and I didn't know the American system at all. I didn't even know what racism was. I thought white people were cool as hell, you know what I mean? And then they put me in the hood, or they didn't put me in the hood. My family moved to the hood, you know what I mean? And black people, like the people that hurt me the most, I always say are black people, because they put me right in the hood. People want to make fun of me, people want to rob me, whatever the case might be, you know what I mean? And then graduated college, moved into white America, started working in corporate America. And that's when I realized that, hey, dude, it's not the black people that are causing this problem. It's white America that's causing this problem. They don't include us in anything. They do everything they can to get us out of their
But
environment or
that's
their
not that. It's not.
situation.
But it's not their job to include us in everything. It's not their
It's
job to include us
not,
in
but
everything.
So white America made those kids jump that cab driver because they didn't want to pay their fare. All right, man. You have to
I
look
mean,
at
that's
the
a
you
situation where
lucky,
you can't use that
lucky, lucky,
situation to like.
lucky,
Go ahead,
lucky.
go ahead, go
Who
ahead. I'm
murders
listening.
somebody? Who murders somebody because they don't want to pay cab fare, bro? Come on, bro. Think about it
Or lucky.
logically.
Or here, Brad. Here's another one. Who murders somebody over too much mayonnaise on their sandwich?
I'm
Exactly.
not
Or
saying
giving their
murdering.
mother cold
I'm
fries.
not
No,
saying
bro.
murdering somebody over too much mayonnaise is excusable, bro. I'm just saying
Let
it's
me tell
part
you
of the.
something.
Go
Let me
ahead,
tell you
go ahead,
something. Let me tell
go
you,
ahead.
Lucky. Let me tell you this. You said you was born in Africa, right?
I was
Let
born
me
in
tell you
Ghana,
this.
yeah.
What you're doing right now, whether you're born in Nigeria or whatever, your name's Lucky, right? I get it.
No, my
What
name's not
you're
Lucky.
doing, what you're
Go ahead,
doing,
though. Yeah.
what you're doing is the equivalent of me saying that the SARS movement was illegitimate because the
Mm-hmm.
police abusing Nigerians was just a product of the system that they live under. No, that's a person's personal
SARS
decision.
movement is
This is
illegitimate.
someone's
No, no,
listen.
no, no,
This
no,
is
no. That's not what
someone's
I'm saying.
personal listen, bro. This is a personal decision. There are police officers in Nigeria who do not abuse Nigerian citizens, who have great respect for the people that they're there to serve and protect. And then you have others who every day wake up and make a personal decision to go out and be degenerate assholes and abuse people. What we're doing systematically, black people, we're trying to make the world the reflection of us, of how we think. Zero
Mm-hmm.
accountability. Everything you do, every bad decision you make is somebody else's fault. Essentially, you're trying to say, well, if nobody else was around to force to influence me, I would make all the right decisions. But guess what? Even when you get put in positions where there is no one around to influence you, guess what you do? You still continue to make the bad decisions. And then when you make it, you blame someone else. That just shows that you're in
Argue.
no, that just shows you're not trying to fix your mindset or the situation that you're living under. Because that's the only reason someone will blame somebody else. We
It's
need
not
to be accountable.
blame, man. I'm not even off. I'm not American, bro. I wasn't born here. My grandmother wasn't born here. My grandfather wasn't born here. But I understand it. You understand? You look at the situation and go, I understand why these people are how they are. I mean, they've been oppressed. They removed the mother from the kids. You know, they went through segregation. As soon as they got out of segregation, they put crack in the hood. They put the men in jail. And then, you know, I understand this. So it's a product of all that they're doing. I'm not saying you can't overcome it. I'm not saying just sit there and go, yo, we've been oppressed and that's it. We can't do nothing about it. I fight the system every day. I'm trying to be a better man every single day. But I understand it. You know what I mean? You have to understand it, bro. I'm not saying it's excusable though, but I understand it. That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is you don't understand it. You'll get there eventually, but you're not there
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Okay.
All right, pardon my presence. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Pardon my presence.
Yeah, I just want to say, I know what's going on, man, but quite often I'm agreeing with everything that Brandon's saying, which is odd because that wasn't always the case when Brandon first came on. So I appreciate Brandon's point of view, but one thing I want to say, we have to be careful when we always use the term the Black community or FBA or all these terms that we use, because a lot of times our own family is messed up. We don't talk to our brothers. We don't talk to our aunts. If you want to talk about community, let's solve our own personal communities, which are our families. Let's get our families in order. Because at the end of the day, I can't control what someone else does 30 miles or 3,000 miles away. I have no jurisdiction over what somebody else does in a different state or different province or different country, but I can have influence and control within my family. And I think we need to stop looking at outside factors to try to solve a bigger issue that we have no control over, as like racism, which we can't control, right? Let's focus on getting our families set up. Let's focus on getting our children right. Let's focus on our relationships internally so that we're stronger within. Because at the end of the day, if you have a strong family unit, there's nothing no one on the outside could do to affect you because you're solid on the inside. If there's financial issues, you have someone on the inside within your family that can assist you. You could practice group economics. There's so many things you could do when you have a solid family base. And if you notice, a lot of the issues that we deal with, it all stems from having fractured families. Whether the father's not in the home, someone's on drugs, uh, uh, you have displacement, foster care system. Our families are messed up. And I think
Why
we
is
need to
that?
focus on
Why is
that
the
before anything
family messed
else.
up? Why is the family messed up?
Well, put it this way: if I'm arguing over what some politician is doing, meanwhile my kids don't have proper meals and they're not getting a proper diet, what should my focus be? Should my focus be on what I'm doing in my household for my own children, for my own brothers and sisters and grandparents, or should my focus be on some politician, on Joe
Politician.
Biden?
Both. Both. I don't know about
Nope,
Joe Biden,
nope.
but more like on the local level, you know, because it affects all of us, you know. It affects us big time. That's true. It should be both. It should be both. Black people don't involve themselves in politics enough. And I'm reading the comments and they say I have a victimized mindset. No, I don't. Believe me, I don't. I'm a businessman. I do well for myself. I'm not sitting here crying or welfare or anything. I'm just telling you what I see. That's it. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I see it. I think we have more control over our own household, and I think we need to start there before anywhere else.
All right, go ahead, Elvis. Go ahead and mute yourself, Elvis.
Thank you, Dynas, and shout out to you. Hopefully, you're staying safe out there in Africa. But just to the brother Luck Me, I just want to tell you, bro. I had a similar, we had another show on this platform, and I excused myself from the conversation, and I think Brandon kind of came around to my view of, as Africans, we got to take a step back when it comes to when we try to lump ourselves into, you know,
African
black
American community.
community.
Okay,
Yeah,
that. I
so.
don't agree with
And
that, but go ahead. I'll listen to you,
no, I'm
brother. Go
saying,
ahead.
and Brandon was just trying to tell you that you probably don't understand the problems of African Americans, and there's nothing wrong with that. The
I
reality
don't
is we don't.
understand it to the fullest, but I grew up with them. I grew up in the Bronx, bro. I grew up in Queens and the Bronx. I
Yeah,
understand them. I understand. I'm a victim of the same oppression they face. That's why I feel like we need to stick together. That's my whole thing. Because they treat me just like, they may treat me a little different when I have an accent, or I tell them I'm from Ghana. They look at you more like, I call it kind of pity, something like that. But I get victimized just as much. You know what I mean? So why separate ourselves when
It's not. No, like I said, you got
I'm
to
listening.
compartmentalize it. You got to put them in section, right?
I'm listening.
From a Ghanaian person, if you're a first generation or second generation,
Right.
your problems don't go as deep as African Americans who've been in this country for centuries. And if you try to put
I
yourself
agree
in the
with
same
that.
category as them,
Mm-hmm.
and and pretend that you understand the deep suffering that their people have gone through over the years, and why they're in,
You
some
said
African Americans are
pretend
in the
to
situations that
understand.
they're in.
Okay, go ahead. Let me let you finish. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
and
bro. Go
why
ahead.
and why they're in, the situation that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
you know you just won't understand it on the surface. You got to dig deeper, and even if you think you understand it, it's really
Mm-hmm.
not your place to try to pontificate on it and try to tell them what their problem is and what the solutions could be. I
It's not
always
my place,
I
huh?
did it on the last show, and people was kind of mad at me. They were saying, "Oh, you're pretty much African American. You should have a voice in this." It's the same thing that's happening right now, and that's the reason. I've seen this before. I've seen this movie too many times. I used to be passionate about it. People see me one way, but I used to be the opposite before. I used to be so passionate about trying to be in the African American community, trying to bring my voice and try to find solutions. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it bit me right in the ass. So I said, you know what?
It bites
This
me in the
ain't my
ass
fight.
all the time, bro. It
Yeah,
bites
this
me in
ain't my
the ass
fight. You
all
got
the
to step
time.
back and just let other people who understand it, who are from there, take the lead. You just got to step back and let them take the lead.
Can I say
And
something?
I feel you. Go
That's
ahead, bro. Go ahead. I
Can I,
kind of agree a little bit. Go ahead.
can I say something? So I just want to. I'm your boy. Part of my presence. The things he was saying, because the other stuff is just semantics. But the thing is, when people, what we've been doing for a long time, and I think this is one of the problems, is we've been trying to reduce this thing down to, oh, it's just a person's upbringing, and what we have to do is make sure the kids are brought up in a better way. Oh, it's because the father's not in the home, or they don't have good meals in the house and stuff like that. Man, let me tell you, be the first one to say that is total bullshit. Sorry to curse on
Mm,
your channel. Why?
mm,
Because I know people who come from the same upbringing who have two totally different life experiences based on choices. Dinah, it's either say you came from a bad home and something bad happened to you, like you go to prison or something. Well, when you go to prison, guess what? You have a bad experience, which teaches you that doing something has a negative impact on your life. But then some people say, you know what, that's enough for me, which is like I did. And then some people say, hey, man, I'm going to just keep on doing what I've been doing because this is what I want to do. The reality is, it has nothing to do with someone's upbringing. It has everything to do with a person's decision making and whether they want to change the direction they're going when their decisions lead to negative consequences or keep going in that same direction. Also, Dinus, another reason why that's total BS is this. The negative,
what's total BS, by
hold,
the way?
hold on,
What's
bro.
the
Hold on.
subject
Hold
here?
on. I'm almost done.
No, no,
I'm
I'm
done.
asking you a
Wait.
question. I'm asking you
Hold
a
on.
question.
I'm gonna
What's
answer it.
no?
Listen,
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead. Go
answer it.
ahead. Go
I'm
ahead. Go
telling you
ahead. Go
why
ahead.
it's really BS. This is the real reason why it's straight BS. Because the
What's BS?
negative decision making of the people
I think we lost him.
upbringing.
I don't think.
Guys, look at when you look at the guy who's just like the high school football star, or he's going to some big university. He has his mother, his father around. They did everything right, and then this guy gets killed by some degenerate hooligan. So you're saying that that guy got killed and victimized in the black community because he wasn't brought up right? No, and that's why to use that argument, oh, it's just their upbringing. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're having the experience they have it. That's why negative things are happening to them. That's bull. Because even the people who are forced to live among these people who are brought up right, are having negative things happen to them because of those people's bad decisions. And I'm telling you, why do you think there are black people who would rather move to a place where they experience blatant, outright, overt racism rather than live in a black community? Because they're like, hey, racism isn't even as bad as what we doing to each other in our communities. That's why they're okay with moving there, and they just deal with that. They just deal with that, bro. They rather shop at the white store where they get racist looks than to go in the black store because they know they're gonna get freaking side-eye, disrespected, and maybe overcharged.
What's
It's
your
what
point?
we're doing. It's what we're doing that's causing this problem. It ain't nobody else or no upbringing. It's the decisions we're making and the decisions making that we're condoning, the things that we allow to happen in our community.
We
So can I just
allow
respond?
that.
Can I respond to Brandon since he mentioned me? Brandon, when you say that it's all based on people's decisions, that's exactly my point. Your decisions are a factor of you making a choice to control your own life, which is what I'm promoting. I think it's time that we focused on controlling what we can, which is our own decisions, our own minds, and our children's minds, our household. That is where we have the most control. So when you give the example as far as another child or another person ends up killing your offspring, but you do understand that you can't control what another person does. That could happen at any point. It could be a white person or Asian person that could end up getting you in a car accident and could kill you. That could happen to anybody. But the point I'm making is that, and that's all chance, but the point I'm making is that if every person had accountability and decided, instead of trying to fight this big fight in Black Lives Matter and protesting in a different state over some BS, if every household decided to have accountability and honor their family members, build a better family structure in their own home, then what's going to happen is that you're going to have a community that's going to hold each other accountable, that's going to be responsible for each other, and
How
it's
come we
actually
don't
going to,
have that?
it's
How come
actually,
we don't have that?
hold on, but then you're actually going to look at each other the same and have respect for each other, and it starts from a small portion, and it works its way out. So this is why it has to start in the home first before anywhere else, and that's
Party, you
all
could
that all
start.
that,
How
hold on,
come?
but that
How
all
come
goes
the
back to
African
decision making.
American community doesn't have a home? How come
Hey,
they don't have
listen,
a
listen.
home?
What you're saying is right, right? But listen to what I'm telling you. There's certain things in the community that we're gonna have to eliminate before we even focus on just the home. Because when you have things like stop snitching and free Pookie,
That's
these
stupid.
are things that go against the value system of a community that
But
even
stop
some
snitching is not
listen,
something that was
hold on,
created by
hold on.
African
That
Americans.
even
It
listen,
wasn't.
Exactly.
that listen,
It
that listen,
wasn't.
that even people who claim to have these values perpetuate. Because if someone does something in the community and you like, yo, I'm gonna call the police on that dude and get him arrested, you will have even people who are raising their kids right, people who are professionals who obey the law, looking at you like, oh man, you a snitch. Oh, you gonna tell on Pookie? Oh,
Yeah,
you
but who
really gonna
created
show
that
him that?
narrative of snitching is
Diners,
bad?
diners. We experience this every day, right or wrong, diners, right or wrong. People who
Right.
claim to be doing it right, who
What do you mean
defend
we? I
degenerate
grew up
behavior.
here, man.
Listen. People who claim to be doing what's right, people who claim to want something better, who sit up and defend degenerate behavior. We'll be on here talking to somebody who is as wrong as two left shoes, saying some straight up demonic stuff. You will have people in the comments claiming they want a better community, talking about, well, he does have a point though. It's not about the family. You
So
got to
hard,
separate
man.
from these ignorant buffoons. We can't be associated with them anymore. We got to just, this is your side. You come on this side, it's going to be all bad for you. This is all you can do because they claim, even the ones who claim to want a better life, still perpetuate the behavior and narratives that
And
destroy our community.
who controls the media?
But
Tell me.
Brandon, you can't say
Hold on. Let's bring on Simply. Simply, go ahead, brother. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
First things first, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I got to salute the platform. I'm just a respectful brother. You know, I'll never jump on somebody's platform with anything I got to say and not salute the house man. You know, that's just how I was raised up. Salute to what you're doing. I checked out your website, your tours, your Africa tours, and the things you're doing for the people and giving people a platform to come on and speak their opinions and speak facts at the same time. So after you got all that out the way, shout out to Brandon who want to bang up my second wife, you know what I'm saying? But I don't hold that against him, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the platform. But the thing about it is with us black people is that, at the end of the day, all we are is resilient roaches. You get what I'm saying? That's all we are at the end of the day.
Come on,
It's
man.
a reason why roaches can survive in an abandoned house or alleyway with no food, the worst, the contaminated water. You get what I'm saying? Rats and all type of way, because at the end of the day, what I learned from living in the hood, living in the projects, that black people will condition themselves, lower their mentality to deal with the minimumest of wages, to deal with the bare minimum of handouts. You get what I'm saying? All you need is a place to stay. That's why you have black people today have raised up generations. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bragging right. I'm from Buckhead. I don't live in Buckhead Court. I don't live in Techwood. I don't live in Macon Homes. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing with black people that we brag about this. You get what I'm saying? Brag about generation of living on the system. You get what I'm saying?
Dysfunction.
So, and we teach that type of behavior. You get what I'm saying? To the next generation. So you have this type of way that we are. Once you dumb down the way that you act and the way that you talk, the only thing that you can excel at and what you promote is what you're naturally good at. That's entertainment. That's shaking your stinking ass. You know what I'm saying? That's telling some damn jokes. You know what I'm saying? That's singing or rapping. You get what I'm saying? Because that takes no effort. I give a prime example of Deion Sanders. He was one of them people, he'll tell you straight up, I never practiced. You get what I'm saying? He was naturally fast, naturally gifted. Allen Iverson, practice. He don't give a damn about practice because he knew that he was game day ready. You know what I'm saying? So certain things about black people, we concentrate on the things that we're naturally good at. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the stems, you know what I'm saying, those things we shy away from. And on top of that, with nowadays where we got 75. Now, you know what, Dynast, change that. It don't went up to 78%. 78% of kids are raised up by black women. You get what I'm saying? They promote that lifestyle to their kids, or a quick way out. You know what I'm saying? And any child that sees his mama struggling or whatever, the first thing he want to do is, how can I get rich quick enough so I can take care of my mama? You get what I'm saying? Like, it always shocks me that these NBA players, mama can be 5'2", 2 left legs, thigh scrubbing, and the son's 6'34", can jump out the gym, throw a basketball through his legs and dunk it through his asshole. And the first thing he do is start talking about his mama, who ain't did nothing but lay on her back and let a nigga jump on top of her like a fish out of water for 7 to 12 minutes and have a damn baby.
Yo, this is
That's
straight
it.
up disrespectful.
So
Why
hold
is he
on
so
for a second. I
disrespectful, man?
don't understand.
Yo,
I don't understand
I think
how
this guy needs to be
I don't
muted,
understand. Hold on for a
man. I don't know
second.
where he's
I don't
going with this,
understand how
man.
men can be that emotional, because I sat back and quiet. I mean, even if I don't like what nobody say, I'm not that emotional. And that goes to my second point, that even the black men are just emotional as the bitches that raised them. Sorry, change that. Black men are emotional as the hoes that raised them, so they act out in a certain way. But reality in the population, especially with the police, shows them that. So when we go out in these streets, we're emotional with each other. So the police allows that, because all we doing is killing each other. There's no reason for the Klan to come out. You get what I'm saying? When we're doing it to each other. I am a prime example of the person that I would rather live in the most racist neighborhood than to live around black people. And I'm a dude from the hood. I don't been like Dynast, tell you straight up. I don't been locked up. Can I finish? Can I finish talking, bro?
Just
Can
one
I
second.
finish?
Go ahead. That's
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, like y'all niggas act like y'all period zones or something. Like y'all that percolating like the point that you just got to interject. I
No,
promise you,
you
I'll
can go
let you
ahead.
talk
That's
for
fine.
2 years if you let me talk for 2 minutes. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a type of person that the first thing I did, I would rather be around white people that's peeping out the window, ready to call the police with anything I do, than live around black people that sit around and watch your traits, watch what you do, and wait for you to leave the house and rob you. What I'm telling you this is that since I've been staying in the most racist neighborhood, that my shit ain't been broken to at all in the last over 4 years.
It's
But when I
bigger
was
than
living
that,
around
though. You
all my
talking about?
people, hold on. When I was living around all my people, my house was broken into almost every time I went to work. And I always tell the story where I seen the dudes in my living room making goddamn sandwiches because I'm a truck driver and I go to work. But I'll pass the mic and let y'all interrupting emotion ass
Listen. I'm
niggas talk.
sorry.
Yeah, let me say something real
Let me
quick,
let me
yo.
go. Let me go. Let me
No.
go.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick.
Right.
You know, I don't know Sim Police Academy or whatever your name is. You know, you think you was raised right the way you're carrying yourself on this platform, and just for no reason at all,
Just yelling.
abusing women. You know, being so negative and being disrespectful. You think you was raised right? You're trying to, castigate other people, but yourself, you have the same issues that you're trying to project on others. I mean, it's so embarrassing. I'm not even going to say anything and judge you, but just by your utterance, the things that you're saying, it just shows that you
Easy,
wasn't raised
Papa.
right. You probably come from a broken home, like many of
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
So it's you just projecting it's the same thing that's going on in your life on other people. It's
Mhm.
an embarrassment. This is a platform of people who are,
Trying to be
so-called
progressive.
intellectuals, or people who have opinions things to say. I mean, I'm embarrassed to hear you say that, my guy. There's nothing even trigger you to start talking the way you was talking. You could have came on this platform, made your points like a gentleman, but instead you came here acting like a pookie, and it's
Mhm.
embarrassing, bro.
Let me
I'm
get to
not
it.
I'm
Let me
not
get
I'm
to it.
not want to judge people, but I gotta say that to you. I gotta say that to you. I
Let's
think it's an
disregard that
embarrassment to
guy,
this
man.
platform.
Let's
All right,
disregard.
so since he
You
addressed
spoke. Can I
me
speak?
personally, hold on for a second,
Make it
because
quick
I
though.
mean,
Make it
if
quick though.
he'll address me, so I'm go ahead and let me go ahead. First of all, bro, the same way how you sub that insinuated or assumed the way I was raised up is just what females do. You get what I'm saying? Because you got intuitions just like a
We're not
female, right?
insulting
So
people here, man.
let
We're
me
not doing
let me
that.
correct you.
We're
Hold
not
on,
doing
let
that.
me correct you real quick. Let me correct you real quick. Raised in a two-family household, mom and daddy married, not a bastard. You get what I'm saying? Mom, hold on, let me help you out. Mom was a preacher. No, change that. Dad is a reverend. Mom is an evangelist. Sister is a preacher also. Two-family household. Mama worked for the federal government. Daddy worked for the Rental Robert Air Force Base. So this is what black people do all the time. We always can sit up there. We know
Can
about
we talk about
everybody
something else?
because we think we know everything. We know how to do everything except for to get along with the people. And the thing about it, you don't have to be embarrassed for me, bro. I'm a grown ass man that make more than probably everybody on this platform. So the funny thing about it, how you feel about me is I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You can talk how you talk, and I can talk how I talk. But the thing about it is, for you to talk about what I can do on somebody else's platform shows the route that you're going. Because if the person that who has this platform don't have a problem with what I'm saying, somebody like you, bro, really is obsolete. But continue though.
If I could just say one thing, and then I'll get off.
Oh,
I want to talk.
Sim
I want to
Academy,
talk.
Sim Academy. You bring up a good point. Whereas there's times when Black people like to promote dysfunction or to brag about dysfunction and behave like it's a good thing that they're able to survive that. So I agree with you on that aspect. The one thing I want to say to you though, and challenge you on is you're a Black person. You mentioned that you came from a structured family household, right? And you live in a white neighborhood, so to speak. My question to you is, you I hope you don't think that you're an anomaly. Like there's no other Black person
That's
who has the
incorrect.
same values or earns the same amount that you do. My challenge to you is, do you not
is that
think that
a legitimate question?
No, I haven't asked the question yet. Let me ask it. My
Oh, okay. I
question
thought
to
you
you is,
said, do I think I'm the
okay,
anomaly? Like I'm the only
no,
black
no,
person? Like what?
let me finish. Let me finish. Right. This is where you're cutting me off.
Continue, man.
My question is this. I'm challenging you. There's not just one person that thinks like you. There's many of us. So my question to you is, wouldn't it be better to live amongst those black people instead of living amongst black people who you say is going to case your house and break into your house when you're not home? Don't you think that that black people who make a good living, who are brought up the right way, would not treat you in that same manner as the black people that you described?
Oh yeah, let me help you out with that. You know, the funny part is me and Dinus both stay in Atlanta. You get what I'm saying? Now, Dinus can tell you this straight up. You know what I'm saying? The odds of you finding a black neighbor. What hold on. Let me not say this. Let me ask the question. Let me put it form the question. Dinus, how hard it is in Atlanta with all these black people to find a neighborhood? I'm not saying that they don't exist. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is to find an open house in a neighborhood where all black people, where everybody is making a high $300,000-$400,000 a year. Diners. I'm not saying it don't exist, but what I'm saying is that finding what I'm saying is houses where you can grab, because in Atlanta, I know for a fact that most of them neighborhoods they get chopped up real quick. But go ahead, Diners.
I can't. I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's hard. It's damn near impossible.
Exactly. So hold on for a second. So now you talking to Diners, the most respectable man on here. You get what I'm saying? And he's telling you that in a city like Atlanta, which is supposed to be the black Mecca, aka Wakanda. You get what I'm saying? Where I'm born and raised. He don't know a neighborhood where there's black people that make money, and there's an old neighborhood where we can get along at. And I don't know that neighborhood, and we're both in the high six figures. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that this is another thing that, to your challenge, my brother, that it's a challenge. It's the same way of saying, what's the solution? It's no solution because it doesn't exist. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong, it sounds good. But when I tell you that, let me tell you something. When I tried to find a neighborhood where it was majority black people that's making at least $200,000 to $300,000 a year, and find a white neighborhood that everybody makes $200,000 to $300,000 a year, it was almost 99.9% to 0.1%.
Why is that? That's the main.
Why is that?
Hold on. Hey, let's do this. One second, guys. Let's pass it to simple. Let's pass it to. Oh, my bad. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, my brother.
Okay. Let's pass it to Mashawn. Go ahead, Mashawn.
I'm glad you said that. Now I want to address simp. 3 things. Mention immigrants being jumped in New York City. And I'm from the city. Sometimes the cab drivers have been very disrespectful, rude, and overcharged people. And that's also documented. I've seen a lot. I've been in situations, and I've seen people be in situations where it led to violence. And that's because they had to defend themselves against the immigrant cab driver. I'm telling you, where I had to intervene. So on that note, I just want to tell you that too. Also, you said, Simp, that you had 2-parent household, right? And you would grow up in the proper household. And on the same token, you were saying that Black Americans live off of handouts. Even though that's an insult, when you say a handout, do you know what a contract is? Your parent, even though they work, they're still living off a contract from government assistance. Whether you're in the military, whether you work in a hospital, everybody, because I used to do proposals, RFP, requests for proposals, you still have to go before the government. And I want to clarify that on the show Dynasty, because either way you put it, your money and your resources is still coming from government, even when you're private. So when you down talk oh, welfare, you living off of welfare and social service.
Hold on,
Those are
Mashawn,
safety nets.
Mashawn, we can't
Yes.
Boy,
compare.
that is
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Hold
that
on,
is
hold on.
Some of
Hold
these
on.
African countries can
Mashawn,
use some social service
Mashawn, we
when you
can't
don't have
compare. Hold
food.
on, Mashawn. One mic, Mashawn. We can't
One
compare.
people, man. One
Mashawn, we can't
people.
compare. Government jobs or working for the military with EBT card. Like I
No,
can't.
I'm not
Like,
saying comparing it to EBT car. I'm saying the resources of where it comes from. Other people know how to come into the country and manipulate all of those resources and make it work for them.
yeah,
Not
that Obama
downplay it,
flip
not
phone just
judge.
ain't gonna let
Hold
you do
up,
it, Shawty.
not judge each other when they come. Okay, I don't want to call these racial people out, but I'm saying when certain people come, they know how. This people get food stamps, welfare. This people get child care, and this group will open up a business. Check it out and get the grants and get the RFPs, and everybody work together off of that American income resources without judgment, and they prosper as a group. That's what all I'm saying.
Every other race except black people, isn't it? So don't come here with that. African, what businesses Africans started? Those are just workers, man. They go to school and work. What businesses are they started?
Even when you go to school, it's still a resource, and somebody got to pay for that tuition. Sometimes the tuition is too much, and they still have to go into government grants. It's still a
Anybody can go to
resource.
school. Anybody can go to school. As a black person, you get more scholarships and grants than anybody else. It's just like I said, and I said again. Like I always keep saying, man, you guys have got to look at the bigger picture. We are black people, one people. It's African, this, that. The most people I've said, the most people that hurt me the most is black people, bro. And I'm saying, but
Preach.
I get it. I see, like you look at the whole, you gotta look at it from a broad spectrum. You should see where the oppression is coming from. You should see the source of the problem. This divide, we're dancing with that. It's stupid, man. We here to solve problems. Not talk about
Yo, lug me.
you know.
What oppression
Hey, you
have you
sounded a little
experienced in the United
distorted, my
States?
brother.
What experience?
You sound a
What
little
oppression
distorted,
have you experienced?
I'm sorry.
All right, let's do this. Let's pass the mic to Lumumba Speaks. Go ahead, Lumumba Speaks. Go
Hey,
ahead.
appreciate it. Appreciate being back on the show. So I think there's a couple of things. One, I would agree with the brother. We do need to have a more of a collectivistic Pan-Africanist approach. We all know that, as Kwame Nkrumah stated, and he's right above my left shoulder, is that he stated that if we don't have a Pan-Africanist approach, we'll simply be played against each other like pawns on a chessboard, right? And so we know this is a reality. But I also think a lot of the comments oftentimes that are made about different ethnic or national groups of Black people are made out of ignorance. For example, in America, the largest entity that receives any kind of social welfare actually are big business, right? When I was an undergrad, I took a class on social inequality. I had to read a book entitled American Society, How It Really Works. You could actually look that up on Amazon. And so what we found was that big businesses receive more welfare and subsidies from the government than the actual U.S. citizens, right? Then when we talk about welfare, we know that white folk receive more welfare and more assistance from the government than Black people. So some of these issues are stereotypes. We do know there are some Black people who receive assistance, but that's actually something that's typically promoted by the dominant society, going all the way back to the movie that came out, D.W. Griffith's book that came out in the early 20th century, entitled Birth of a Nation, where they would depict Black people as lazy and buffoonish and looking to eat off the government because they didn't want to work. So some of these stereotypes are actually antiquated narratives that have come from white supremacists, right? At the turn of the century. So I think that's an issue that we need to focus on, as well as understanding where many of these views of Black people come from, right? So that's what I have to say about that particular issue.
You know what? The thing about it is, I agree with that a lot of the far as the media and movies have portrayed. You know, you can go from the movie like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, from any, like to tell you the truth, I've never watched any slave movie. I never watched Kunta Kinte. I never watched Color Purple. I never watched none of these movies. So I understand a lot of people in the media have, and a lot of people have been you know, brainwashed by the media, but I'm a type of person that have seen none of these movies, and everything that I have experienced, the most oppression that I have ever experienced was from Black people. The person that I've never been robbed by a white person. I've never been set up, schemed on, house broken into by a white person. You get what I'm saying? Nothing of mine has never been stolen by a white person. You get what I'm saying? Everybody that I know in the neighborhood that I grew up in, it was all on Black. You get what I'm saying? White people didn't even come over there. Matter of fact, yes, they did. They came over there to give out some free food and some handouts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only gonna speak on my experience. And this was experience of maybe 1,000 people, because it's one of the largest projects in Atlanta. All we did in this neighborhood for 17 years of me living over there, actually longer, was oppress each other. It was nobody else doing this. It was us killing each other. It was us selling drugs to each other. It was us pimping out each other. It was us robbing each other. It was no only thing the white people came over there to do is to clean up. That's all they came over there to do. You get what I'm saying? Bankhead Court was one way in, one way out, death trap. And what we did, I was one of them too. When they used to come over there and repair the lights, we used to shoot out the lights to the point that they wouldn't even come back over there. So what does that make a neighborhood of 1,000 different projects? At nighttime, it was black out. You get what I'm saying? And you had to either know the language or know the hand signals to survive over there. So I say again, you know what I'm saying? Black people, we survive in a Black neighborhood. We don't thrive. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm a type of person that I'll tell anybody that if it wasn't for, I'm one of the main components will tell you that prison saved my life. You get what I'm saying? It saved my life. It took me over 3 years. I will honestly tell anybody that if they would have let me out of prison anywhere before 2 years, I would have been back in and I would have been worse. It took me 3 years with all this good upbringing, having two parent households. You know what I'm saying? It took me 3 years to wake up from the conditioning of the neighborhood that I grew up in. You get what I'm saying? So now we can talk about what's the cause of that and why is that, but it didn't matter, because I know for a fact that even though white people all put us in this neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? They didn't make us act the way we act towards each other. They was never over there. So everything that we chose to do to each other, that was our choice. It was nobody over there making us do that. You get what I'm saying? And now after 3 years, I was ready to go. And after 4 years, that's it. So when I got out, I was a grown man. I'm over 21. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I made a life for myself, because I worked in prison all that time, every day, 7 days a week, for 2 sandwiches and a peanut butter jelly sandwich and some liquid diabetes tea every day. Hold on for a second, bro. I'm finna finish. I promise you I'm finna finish. So what I'm saying is that it made me, I'm saying that if I would have got out before then, I would have came back. So what I'm saying is I'm one of the type of people that it gave me time to sit back and realize how smart I actually as well, because in my neighborhood, if you were smart or you talk correct English, you was a target. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, Sim. Let me ask you a question quickly.
Ask the question. My bad, brother.
Yeah, you talked about how, you don't like people taking handouts, but you lived in a project. I'm sure you living in the projects, you're getting handout, government subsidies. And then you also mentioned that you was raised in a good household. If you was raised in a good household, that would be evident by you not going to prison. You went to prison. I don't know what for, but that's clear evidence that probably you didn't have as good of an upbringing as you think you did.
I
So
don't
my
understand why you
point,
keep saying that, dog. Me going to prison was my choice. It had nothing to do with my mom and dad. You get what I'm saying? Like, listen what I'm saying. My mom and
Let me
dad
respond to that,
never
Sam.
did nothing wrong.
Let me respond to
Do
that
you get
real
what I'm
quick.
saying?
Hold on,
So
real
what I'm
quick.
saying is that this is your second time assuming about my upbringing. I keep telling you that my mom and dad was both pastors. Well, my dad was a reverend and my mom was an evangelist. You get what I'm
that
saying?
don't mean
So what
anything.
I'm
So
saying is that
pastors'
they
kids are
left
sometimes
I'm
the
just giving
worst
it to
kids
you.
out there.
Dog, hold
Pastor
on for a
kids are
second.
sometimes
I'm
the
giving
worst
it to
kids
you
out there.
so you won't have to assume no more. You get what I'm saying? They left the projects. I went back. You know what I'm saying? My family moved out the projects early, but the way black people are, we claim we cousins with everybody and fake cousins. They left the projects after a certain amount of. They used it as a stepping stone to get on their feet. I went back to the projects. It was nothing that their upbringing did. I chose the street life. So
So,
I'll let you continue after that, my brother.
and let me say this, and this is just to echo on the question, and of course, Simply's point is that even if you go up in a stable, functional, healthy two-parent household, and I'm a parent myself, the parent controls the process, but they don't control the results. It's just like a coach. You could coach a kid up on the football field, on the basketball court during the week and teach them all the moves they need to know. They can master the moves. But when they get out there, Friday night lights, in front of the crowd, they might have stage fright and they aren't able to execute, right? So as a parent, you control the process, but you don't control the results. So that's the reality. The other issue I wanted to mention, Brother Simp Police talked about some of the behaviors that took place in the hood, shooting out the street lights, so on and so forth. I've always argued that Black people are typically socialized to do two things in America, right? One was socialized to be integrationist, right? And this comes from the Dr. King type of a monolithic view that the only way to have Black progress comes from the largesse of white people, right? The second issue is I oftentimes argue that Black people, like Dr. Carter G. Woodson mentioned almost 100 years ago in his seminal text, Miseducation of the Negro, were socialized to what? Engage in a racially disempowering, self-defeating, and of course self-destructive behavior. With that being said, I think it's important to understand that 85% of all crime is intra-racial in America. This is a reality. The second issue is crime tends to be geographical. If you don't believe me, we'll go back and look at the 5 Points neighborhood in New York City at the turn of the century, during the 19th century, in which there was a murder a day, there was nothing but white people around. But part of the major issue was the collective ethos that we have, in which we view Blackness in a negative light. The individuals on the panel may not feel that way, but as someone who works in the Black community, someone who, of course, is finishing up their doctorate in Black studies, we tend to find that collectively Black people, and even Malcolm X mentioned this, that many of the issues that we have in our community is due to the fact that we don't like who we are. And Malcolm always stated that if we were able to reverse that self-hatred and turn it into self-love, we would begin to solve oftentimes 80 to 90% of the problems that we have in our communities, because the ultimate issue is how we treat and respond and react to each other.
Can I say something?
1 second, Brandon. Let's pass it to our Igbo brother in Jamaica. Go ahead, Ananso.
Okay. There was some kind of argument and all that. But one thing is that the truth always remains. And that is the fact that my brother over there was talking about when he was in the white neighborhood and there were less crimes and all that. Now, let me say something. It doesn't really matter, because the crimes and everything is not because they are Black. And the serenity and the environment you find yourself, which doesn't offer those crimes, doesn't mean that because they are white, it was so. No, let's not put these two things together, thinking that because they are Black, that is why there is crime. It doesn't work that way. I want you to see it in a kind of different perspective, and that is the fact that you experience crime because you live among bad people. So that is my kind of mindset towards this argument. I don't want to start dwelling on the fact that because they were Black, and that is why there was so much crime in the area. So I don't know whether you understand my take on this issue.
Can I say
Well,
something now?
let me respond back to that real quick. What we're saying is that me and Diners, we both stay in Atlanta, and you get what I'm saying. And we both know with Atlanta right now is Black Hollywood. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if wherever there's more white people living and more white people business, you know what I'm saying, it's just less crime. When the uptick in crimes happens in the white business, it's Black people going to those areas. It's so bad in Atlanta that you got cities like Buckhead that want to break away from Atlanta because.
Bro. Hey, Sim, sorry to cut you
Don't
off.
get me. Go ahead. Go ahead. You know
Segue?
I'm finna get started.
Yeah. Can we like finish your thought on the Buckhead situation, the white neighborhoods, and then can we segue into what happened with the Nappy root situation since you're on the ground in Atlanta currently?
Come on,
in
bro.
Nigeria?
I definitely will. I'll finish about the Buckhead thing. The Buckhead area 5 or 10 years ago was a nice area where you can go to, you know what I'm saying, where white and Black people could mingle and there was no problem, you know what I'm saying, you have to deal with no crime or whatever. We had certain malls in Atlanta where you know that if you went to these malls, you know what I'm saying, you had to make sure your all your shit was in the trunk or whatever. Now after Hurricane Katrina, you know what I'm saying, I'm not just gonna blame New Orleans, but I'm gonna blame New Orleans. You get what I'm saying? With all these, everything came from New Orleans and Mississippi to Atlanta, that all these areas had became like a war zone. Now you got criminals living in Buckhead staying in 3,000 to 4,000 a month high rises, and they're having shootouts and gang wars. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that you oppress each other, rob and steal from each other, and you'll go pay $36,000 worth of rent. You get what I'm saying? This is how backward our mind state is, that we'll oppress each other, but we'll go pay their high rent. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, we're not even smart enough to not take it to the area where we sleep in. You can go on the news any day in Atlanta and see high rises getting broken into. Now we get back to the Nappy Roots things, what Diners wanted me to segue into. Nappy Roots is a rap group, you know what I'm saying? They think they're from Alabama, you know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is these brothers who never rapped about, just the demoralizing way that Black people are. They always had a little feel-good rap. You get what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it was from Kentucky, I think. They was from Kentucky. So they had a different feel to the type of hip-hop music they in. But the way that what happened is that they opened up a business. They wanted to open up a different business to where it was different from the clubs to barbecue joints to barbershops. They wanted to open up a business where they can compete with the higher echelon of the business in the neighborhood. They didn't want to be in the norm, like the chitlin circus, like they call it, far as like plays and everything. So these brothers are just sitting around here making craft beer to people that want to go there, the same way how people make cigar lounges for people that want to lounge out. So these are people that want to get away from the hustle and bustle and the ignorant behavior of club activity, of just standing around, standing on couches, yelling and screaming, period. Chicks snatching words out the air and clawing they $800 Remy waving natural. You know what I'm saying? And what Black people did was, instead of Black people going in there trying to get a job, because they were trying their best to hire Black people and to start each Black person out between $18 to $25 an hour, you know what I'm saying, to hire Black people in a Black neighborhood. It's right by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What brothers chose to do is to go in there and kidnap him, pistol whip him,
So from my understanding, they shot one of the customers who were walking to the car in the parking lot. Then they kidnapped one of the singers, or one of the members of the one of the members of Nappy Roots drove him to his house, tried to rob him at his house as well. He took off running. They shot him in the leg.
Dennis,
Yeah.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead. What's going on
Please,
now? So
can I
what's
say
up?
something, please?
Go
This
ahead.
my brother has been consumed with so much negativity. If you can ask me, this is my opinion about him. He has so much negativity, and then when you have so much negativity, it is always so difficult for you to see things in the other side. Because let me say something. He keep on talking about blacks and all those things. Don't be surprised that one day a white man is gonna shoot you finally. Because I'm not praying for that, but don't fix your mind on the negative things being done by your own race. Because I have seen so many white people that always tell me that the problem is the white, not the black. It's vice versa. It goes on those situations. And let me point the fact that what causes crime? Drugs causes crime. Guns causes crimes. How many black business owner has a pharmaceutical company? How many? Okay, talk about the gun law. Who are the people being saddled with the
Man,
activity?
man,
Hold
how
on.
many?
Let me interject there. I'm gonna
Wait, let me
interject
say this.
there.
Let me say
Hold on.
this.
No. Let me speak. I'm
Let
gonna
me say
interject
this.
there.
Y'all all talk.
I'm
Let me
gonna
have a
interject
chance.
Hold
because
on.
guns
Let's do
don't
this.
cause
Let's pass it
crime.
to let's pass it to Lumumba, then we'll pass it to Brandon. Go ahead, Lumumba.
And I understand where you're coming from. Not focus on negativity. If you look at in the white community, they behave this way towards each other as well. They
Of
engage
course.
in criminal behavior. But one of the issues I think we just need to be intellectually honest, is guns don't cause crime. I know black people don't make the laws. We don't manufacture the guns. There's no Uzi factories in Harlem. I get that, right? But the reality of the situation is, if you want to make it plain, right? Even if individuals don't have firearms, you have some individuals who are going to engage in nefarious behavior, irrespective of if they have a gun or not. There are a multitude of variables at play when individuals engage in criminal activity. I've stated before on this broadcast that I myself have been incarcerated before. There were young men in jail who were facing 20, 30, 40 years and came from well-to-do backgrounds because they simply thought it was cool to engage in criminal activity. So there are a multitude of variables at play when it comes to people engaging in criminal behavior, right? And I think that if we don't make that claim, we're being intellectually disingenuous, right? So I just think that needs to be stated.
Right.
All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Okay, Dynast, people lie, right? But numbers don't lie. If you go look at the statistics for how many white people rob black-owned businesses, I guarantee you they would be negligible. It probably wouldn't be enough to actually be recorded, right?
Yeah, they
So
tend to
you got
rob
these
their own
dudes.
businesses, each other.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who they rob. They not robbing black-owned businesses, right? If you look at the situation, these people are like, oh man, don't be surprised when a white person shoots you. I would bet my life that Sim police will never get shot by a white guy. I would just bet my life, even being in the South, right? The reality is this always boils down to one thing. This is all these people feel we deserve, right? Whether they're black Americans, Africans, whatever. Don't complain about it. Just sit back and accept it. Dynast, if you go to Africa, right? Say somebody did the stuff they did to Nappy Roots, right? Bust in with a gun, shot the guy, shot another guy, and all that stuff. Africans wouldn't tolerate that stuff. Those business owners you would see a mob jumping on that person, beating them half to death, maybe lighting them on fire with a tire, right? So what you have is a situation where you have Africans who are telling black Americans that they should accept and tolerate occurrences and situations that aren't even tolerated in Africa. You hear about somebody getting shot and robbed in Africa. Okay, there's some bad things that happen, right?
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong, because I've been there to experience it my own self. A dude tried to steal a damn cell phone and they damn near killed the dude. A mob of freaking Africans. So I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong. But they would be up in arms. They would be up in arms complaining. They would be up in arms complaining to their government. They would be up in arms complaining about what's going on. When we get up in
Hello.
arms and complain, we're told, shut up. You can't, don't worry about what's happening to you at the hands of your own group. Focus on what the white man might do to you. Focus on what the white man did to you 500 years ago. They're just telling you, shut up, nigga. This is the best that you deserve. You got people who want to be accountable. You got people who want to live a good life. You got people who want to get rid of this negative element in our community. And on the other side, you got people who want to make a bunch of excuses for these people. And this is why I said earlier, when the one brother, pardon my presence, said what he said, it ain't got nothing to do with the upbringing, because you have people who come from a good upbringing who sit up and defend people who operate within degenerate activity in their own community. You got white people.
Let's say something, please. Hello, can I say
Hold on
something,
real quick.
please?
I'll let you guys talk.
Let me
Hold
say
on, I'll let you
something.
guys talk.
Just a minute.
Dinah,
I'm a man of
you
few
have
words. I
white people.
don't talk much.
Damn, I
Let me
can't
say,
talk. I'll let you talk, didn't interrupt you. You
just
got
give me
white
3 minutes.
people. You got white
Just give me
people
3 minutes.
who will come from suburbia. And they were talking about this on Fox News the other day. You got white people who will come from suburbia to bail out black criminals and black degenerates. They'll advocate for them. They'll vote for laws that release these people from jail after committing all types of heinous crimes. And then they go back to their gated communities within the safety of their own community, while black people have to live with the bull crap. So guess what? It ain't about upbringing. It's about virtue signaling, because these people don't care about it until they're affected by it. That's when they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, we need to stop this. This is wrong." They crying on TV and everything like that. Black people, it has nothing to do with your upbringing. It has everything to do with your decision making and the people who operate in a hypocritical capacity, who sit up and defend people who make degenerate decisions and hurt other black people. We should not be prisoners in our own community.
Absolutely.
It's just not right.
I can recall growing up, my father would tell me and my brother and I growing up, if you go to jail, don't call here. I'm not bailing you out. I'm not picking you up. And if you are arrested, you are shaming your family and you're shaming your mother and I. I mean, so it comes down to values, and then you have to make the decision as the individual person, do you want to live by a certain set of values or not? I've always stated this, and I agree with the brother, that we see most liberal organizations, liberal think tanks advocate and support black degenerate behavior. They support black criminality, but you couldn't bring it to their community any day of the week.
No way you can't.
No way, no how. It would be ASA 9, ASA 10, ASA 11, or ASA 12 if you brought that type of foolishness into their community, to their schools, to their rec centers, to their religious places of worship. So we have to understand that if we believe in always betting on black, as I state on my platform, if we believe in restoring ourselves to our traditional greatness as a free, proud, and productive people, that part of that, as Dr. Amos Wilson mentioned in his seminal text, Blueprint for Black Power, there's a moral capacity to what? Black power. We can't be running around acting like we boo-boo the fool, but then talking about, hey, we civilized Europe and we are the fathers and mothers of humanity.
Man, please.
There's a contradiction of the highest order, and it doesn't matter if you're in America, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Nigeria, or you're in fictional Wakanda. This type of behavior in a society in which people respect themselves shall not and will not ever be tolerated.
And that's the sad part is you guys consider me African, Black Americans consider me African, like separate, but we are victim of the same freaking struggle. I never understood that, man. I never understood it. Like the other brother said, Elvis said, sometimes it's so discouraging, it makes me want to go, you know what, let me just stick to my own people.
Well, not all African Americans had that viewpoint, brother. Not all African.
Not all, bro, but majority of them, bro. Like, dude, you know how many times I try to help these people? And they just look at me like, oh, you're not part of us. Like, and it's just so discouraging. They be the same ones that try to stab you in the back. And it's like, oh, I'm trying to do to help you, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my point. That's my point. It's very, very discouraging, man. Very, very discouraging. It makes me want to go, you know what? Let me just do my own thing and just say, yo, I'm separate. I'm this. I'm not part of them. You know, because that's what they want me to do. That's what the white people would love for me to do. Like, you're not like them. You're different. But Africans face the same fucking oppression, man. Look at Africa, the richest continent in the world, bro. They can't even make a freaking microwave over there. It's the same freaking oppression. Look at South Africa. The black people over there, the small white population and the big black population, they use the same system of welfare, the same system of handouts, and now South Africa is the most violent place, one of the most violent places in the world. Look at the Virgin Islands, man. It's a part of a territory of the United States, one of the most violent places in the world, because there's black people there. It's a system, you know what I mean? And you guys have to come together and try to fight it. All this, it's all divide and conquer, man. To me, I'm done. You guys can go ahead.
I mean, even if you say that, that's what they want us to do, and a lot of black people, we always taught this with, that's what the white people wanted to do. Which I agree with you. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would a group of people that sees you as their enemy since slavery want you to get along? You get what I'm saying? So I understand that point, but what I'm saying is that if we as black people know that white people don't want us to get along, if we're left to our own devices, nobody's not making us not get along. You get what I'm saying? Like I can wake up every day
making us not get along. You gotta look at the bigger picture, bro. A lot of people are not making. Yo, who pays you? Who owns the rights to these rappers' songs? Who puts the music out? Who owns the radio stations?
Bro, I think you're talking something else. Like from my personal experiences, it's not the white man that's bringing enmity between African Americans and Africans.
No, I never
Most
said
African,
that. No,
most African Americans would say, "Oh, Africans don't see us. There's no connections with African and us." And some Africans would say the same thing.
Right.
But it's based on your personal experience. The person that you interact with.
I just feel like the struggle is the same.
It's not the same. Why would you say that? It's not. It's not the same.
Around the world, man.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Less fortunate. It's a reason why. Bro.
Let me say this. Let me speak to what you're saying, because it's nuance, right? We understand that no matter where you are in the world, it could be Europe, it could be Asia, it could be the African continent, it could be the Caribbean, it could be North America, that black people experience anti-blackness. Anti-blackness is pervasive, anti-blackness is global, but it's also nuanced because people experience it in different ways, reflective to where they are in the world, right? So the oppression that we face is connected to a global system of anti-blackness, but it doesn't mean it's exactly the same. But to the point of us not getting along, as brother the Simply stated, this comes down to us having agency and being self-determining. If we are dumb enough, and I'm gonna use this, dumb enough to fall for the banana in the tail.
Appreciate it.
Someone's rapping about killing folk, so now I think it's cool. That's on us for not being able to have a brain to think for ourselves.
That's not true.
That's not on that. And I always use this analogy. Hold on. I always use the analogy when I work with young men of if I used to box. That if you get into a boxing fight, a boxing ring, and you're fighting a guy and he hits you with the same punch over and over again every round, it doesn't mean that your opponent's a great boxer. It means that you're fucking incompetent. So we can stop always looking at them and look at what we're not doing, because oftentimes the issue is what we're not doing. It's not what they're doing, it's what we're not doing. And for 100%, we talk about being able to restore ourselves to our traditional greatness, being able to compete globally in an efficacious level, in an efficacious manner against all racial ethnic groups that are, of course, non-Black, non-African. We're bringing up the rear because collectively as a people, we are incompetent. We are incompetent when it comes to developing collective political power.
How come we can't form any collective political power?
Let me finish. See, and the reason why is this, I would argue, is because we're making these monolithic grand narratives that we can't do something. Can't should be part of a Black man's vocabulary. Can't should be part of a Black woman's vocabulary.
Not at all. Not at all. Nothing is ever being Black. Being Black has never stopped me from doing nothing, bro. I've never used Black as an excuse. I went to college.
But you just said we can't do X, we can't do Y.
What's X and Y? Verbatimly, what did I say?
You said we can't do that.
Do what?
I'm asking you, but you said can't.
I don't remember. I don't know. You got it. I don't remember. I don't know if I said that.
Dr. Lumumba, who started the republic?
Oh no.
As which it stands. Who started the republic?
This country? You talking about America?
Yes.
White folk.
White folks, not Blacks?
But I'm not Dr. Lumumba.
Blacks started that, honey.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yet.
Right, I remember.
Let's go into history in this country. We started that. But I want to say that the blacks then seems like not the blacks of today. So there has to have been a process.
I'm asking you a question. You
Let her
said
finish.
black people founded America. That's what you're saying? We created.
Well, we was here before the so-called people took it over, but that's not what I was saying. We were here before they came and took it over. And of course, I'm gonna tell the truth. Why are you combating and debating me on that? That's the truth. That's undebatable. That's historical fact. But that's not what I was talking about. What I was talking about the republic. How did the Republican Party become the Republican Party? How did the Democratic Party become the Democratic Party? So what I'm saying is the same black people, and I'm talking about FBA 80s and whatever you want to call it, descendants of slavery, how they fought to build in this country. And matter of fact, back then, they were more Pan-Africanists than ever. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying now is, because you mentioned about being, dumb or naive, you mentioned those words. But there's a process. My saying is there's a process of today. Because I can look back to my great-grandmother and look back at my own children of today growing up in this country and the changes I went through with sabotage from my own people. But it wasn't just my own people. It was Pan-Africanists. It was immigrants. So we got to ask ourselves, I'm just keeping it real, what we're not doing. The question is, you said, is what we're not doing. And if I just told you that we, the builders, FBA 80s, they were Pan-Africanists too, because they was about everybody, because they was trying to survive at that time. So what I'm saying is today, how and why we in a worse condition. And I don't know if being a diaspora to Africa is going to resolve the problem. So we need to resolve the problem here.
Africa is Black America's, listen to me very clearly. Africa is Black America's last hope. Period. Point blank. America is not for you, man. I've lived with
Says who? Says who? Says who?
I'm telling you, says me.
No. Where do you get that notion?
We got to look at ourselves today. Who's making the decision?
Come on, y'all. We can't even do nothing but respect people while we even talking. That's how dysfunctional we are, that we can't even respect another person.
Who's making the decisions today? Who's making the decisions, and who is being put in the position to make the decisions?
Answer that question.
With us and for us.
Who's making the decision? Answer it.
Are you
Who's making the decision?
Answer it. Answer your
Lumumba says what we're not doing.
Answer your question.
The answer is who has the resources? Who has access? Hold up. Who has access to the resources? You want to do it globally? You want to do it country? You want to do it state by state? Because that's what it boils down to, the resources. Who's willing to take the resources? Bottom line. Because they took it from us. Bottom line.
Right, they took it from you guys. They put puppet presidents in Africa.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's just.
I'm talking about right now, as of today.
I mean, if I could, you started. You was talking about who created the republic. Then you said who created the Republican and Democratic Party. Now you're talking about resources. It's just all over the place. I'm really
All right, listen.
I still don't get your point.
All over everything needs a resource, including any parties, any campaigns, any power, any position. Money, right? There's a resource coming from somewhere.
Right.
And somebody in the body got it and got access. That's the answer.
People, they all got resources. I understand that. What's your point?
Hey, you got to leave that Ogu juice alone, Shawty.
Hey, what's your point, man?
Well, hold up. Resources, how you living today? How you breathing? How you eating? It's from resources.
What's your point? And to the
Yeah,
point.
yeah, but hey, check it out though.
I want
I
you
agree
to
with.
you have the mind, and if you're great, you can be able to get the answer from my point. That's the bottom line. That's why we here talking.
All right, we
Resources.
got you. We got you. We got you. We got you. We
You own
understand. We understand.
you
We
own
understand.
land? Do you own water? Do you own lands, water, air? Come on.
No, I'm
What do you think they use us
Okay.
for? Resources. Slavery was for resources, wasn't it?
I hear word resources. Yeah, slavery
I
was a
said
resource.
slavery was used to build what?
Wealth.
They used us to build what?
Wealth.
Okay.
Okay. So where do wealth come from?
I get it.
Our labor.
No,
Our labor, but they also need resources, right?
Yeah.
Now, does America have all the resources?
Yeah, America is pretty self-sufficient. Go ahead.
No.
What?
America,
self-sufficient
it's not
in terms of
completely,
resources.
but it can be if it wants to be.
What do they take?
Resources. Right. What'd you say?
What do they take? Do they just take from America? No. Do they go out America to other countries to get their resources?
So that's where Africans are oppressed. You see why we are oppressed too? That's where we come in. That's how we are oppressed. But go ahead.
But that's the answer. That's the answer. That's my point. I'm not trying to be all over the place.
I don't get your
but
point,
it's the bottom line.
Hey, how is Africans oppressed in America?
Dude, let me explain it to you. When I was 16 years old, they came and got me from class. 2 police officers took me to jail and said I looked like somebody that was in a mugshot, and they said I killed somebody. Dude, they had me in there for 24 hours before they let me out. Dude, I was standing in the corner one day. I had some money in my pocket in the Bronx, and then they just came out here, stopped and frisked me, and said that's drug money, and we take you to jail. Dude, I go to the hospital. I work in the hospital. I've been called monkey. I've been called a boy. Every time I speak, I'm considered like one of the most dumbest people in the world. My opinion never fucking matters. They look at you, and when you say something, and then the white person says something, oh yeah, dude, I faced all types of oppression as a black man. You know what I mean?
You're using the wrong word. That's not oppression.
All right, I'm listening. What is the word?
You might be.
Racism.
It might be. Yeah, it's not even racism. It
Tell
could be
me, what's the word?
discrimination, biases.
Discrimination is when you pick and choose. There might be some discrimination in it.
Yeah,
but
it's not. It's not oppression.
Because of this, bro.
They're not stopping you forward. They're not stopping you from making progress in life.
Nothing I want to do in life, but you are going to face a lot of obstacles. And dude, if you don't believe in racism,
I'm just gonna say this as an African. I'm gonna say this. I agree with some of the points that so-called FBA makes. You know, I agree with some of their points. For example, when they talk about things like there should be specific things that's designated for quote unquote, descendants of slaves, I agree with that point, because people who've been through traumatic, experiences like the Native Americans and other groups, even the Japanese who was in internment camps during the World War I or so. They got certain benefits. What does African Americans get exclusively that's for them that we Africans or Indians or Koreans don't have a stake in? I agree that they should have something. I don't agree with the messenger, but I agree with some of the message that there should be some certain things that's designated for African Americans because of slavery.
It will never happen. Are you crazy?
It may not, but I'm saying I agree with that point. I don't know if anybody think that's a stupid point, but I agree with that point. I don't agree with Tariq. I think he's mean spirited.
I definitely feel like
I agree with that
African
point.
Americans need they deserve a portion of America, and that they will never be given.
With the point. I've always stated that Black people, African Americans, we've been on a system of social control since we arrived here many centuries ago, right? That system of social control started with slavery. And I always tell people when you're advocating for reparations or any type of harm to be healed based on our experience in America, it's not solely due to chattel enslavement, right? It's also due to a system of social control that started with chattel enslavement during the Holocaust of enslavement, but moved to sharecropping, transformed the Black codes, then became Jim Crowism, and now we're looking at the new Jim Crow. So the argument and even the Supreme Mother, the warrior scholar Michelle Alexander, in her seminal text, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness, she talks about that Black people have a system of social control and that it's transformed over the years.
100,000%.
Right, and so that's the issue that when we're talking about reparations, we're talking about repairing
the
the war.
TV
It's
stations, the
not
radio
just
stations,
yes,
the
it's not
music,
just
the
dudes
rappers.
shot
Rap
on
is the
stage.
new crack. Rap is literally the new crack. I grew up with these guys. What they don't listen to their mothers, they listen to the rappers. They know that, bro. They know they keep pumping it in there. Let a white man or a white person come in there rapping about kill this, kill that. Watch how fast they'll shut them off. But let the black man
Hey,
do it.
do you listen to rap music? Do you listen to rap music?
Of course. I grew up with rap
Okay,
music.
so people, why do you listen to rap music?
It's because it's part of the culture. When I came here,
You just do it because it's part of the culture. You.
I was
For
a
me,
kid
I
once,
listen to music. I listen to music that I can relate to. If you're not about that lifestyle and you don't kill people and you don't rob people or do all the stupid shit that the music talk about, you have no connection to that music, so you don't have to listen to it. So if you're listening to it just because of the culture, that's not a valid point to listen to a certain kind of music.
Right. I came here when I was 13 years old. That's what everybody listens to. As a 13-year-old, you listen to what?
See, you're just a follower then. You're not thinking.
I was a follower when I was 13 years old.
Hold on. That doesn't even. Hey, that don't even make sense, cause even Oreo Obama listened to the Migos. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, the thing about it is,
anybody, man. It's just black people.
you know what I'm saying is you can listen to anything just because you like the lingo, just like the way you like them put words together. What I'm saying is that when you got the people that, believe me, it is a lot of dumb black people out here. Like when I was locked up, you know what I'm saying? That's when I really saw that I was like, you know what? This is a period for you to get on your feet. But I was surrounded by a lot of ignorant black people. I'm talking about not because they did something. Hold on for a second. Not because they did something wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was just the mind frame. I'm just talking about putting thoughts together. Right. I just never been around so many people that could not put thoughts together, could not speak coherent sentences. You get what I'm saying? So these people that I was locked up with, these people that I knew on the streets, but when they was locked up, when they was caged up, when they had the shackles on them, when the doors was locked and the keys was taken away, they were some of the calmest people in the world. Man, I knew a guy that don't killed like 4 people, but he's in the dorm room for like 6 hours just waxing the floor, putting 3-4 coats of wax on it. The calmest person in the world, didn't get in no trouble. I'm talking about this brother, the whole time I was in there, I'd never seen this brother get in trouble. But on the streets, he was terrorizing people. And I came to talk to the brother one time before I got ready to get out. And I said, bro, how you be in here and you ain't got not one DR? A DR is called a disciplinary report. I said, how you in here and you terrorize the neighborhood? You was robbing, stealing, killing, raping, doing all this shit on the streets. You know what I'm saying? But in here, you're the perfect inmate. And he told me that he could not function in the rat race of society. He said that prison, even though it looked like he was functioning on the outskirts, he said that he felt like he was behind, and the only thing he can do was react emotionally, and when he acted emotionally, it was violence. He said, but in prison, it's more calm and it's more slow. He said, I tell you this, man. He said, I'm in my natural element in prison.
Yeah, that means he had been.
That changed my life. Go ahead, Mr. Obama.
So that means. So let me speak. One, that means that brother had been institutionalized, and it's unfortunate because there are a lot of individuals who they go to prison. They feel like there's a belief in it internally that the only way they can function is if they are incarcerated, right? The other issue, the brother mentioned that he listened to rap music that was part of culture. So I'm gonna ask you a question. A week ago, yesterday, was the 49th anniversary of hip hop. So I wanted to know if you could tell me the difference between hip hop and rap. And of course, what are the 5 core aspects of hip hop culture? Because as we know, hip hop is a subculture of African American culture. So the question is, what is the difference between hip hop and rap?
I don't know the difference between hip hop and rap. I don't know the difference between hip hop and rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the 5 core aspects of hip hop culture? Are you aware of what those are?
I didn't even know hip hop had some kind of dictionary. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I would argue is that I would move you to actually learn about the 5 core aspects of hip hop culture. I would tell you what they are. The 5 core aspects of hip hop culture are graffiti, DJing, breaking, this is the dancing aspect, emceeing, and of course the clothing, right? So these are the 5 core aspects
So
of hip
what
hop
you're, I'm
culture.
sorry to cut you off, but I get your point. What you're saying is what we're listening now is not it's not this essence of what it was supposed
Correct.
to
What
be.
I'm arguing is that there's a difference between hip hop and rap. KRS-One, we know KRS-One was
I listen to
preeminent
conscious
rapper
rap.
in
I
New
listen
York
to
City
conscious
back
rap.
in the 80s. And he stated that rappers spit rhymes that are mostly illegal. MCs spit rhymes to uplift their people.
Right. But that's not my point. Who freaking owns the radio station? Who pumps this music?
Well, once again, and I believe in agency. I believe in being self-determined. It was
Right.
who owns the TV stations, who owns the radio stations, who's able
pumps
to
this
push out movies.
hypnotizing
Hold on,
music
let me finish.
If it's negative, don't listen to it.
To vote
I'm
with
old
our
enough to
eyes and our
understand that. A kid
ears.
is not.
We don't have to watch it, and we don't have to listen to it. That is our responsibility.
Let me tell you this, dude. Now, this is the African American culture. Because I came up with 2 parents. They taught me better. Once I got older, I formed my own opinion. My mom would even let me listen to hip hop in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Neither
So
did
that's
my
different.
parents. They didn't let me listen to
right.
rap in the house, not hip hop.
Right, but what about those that didn't have those though? Those that their mom is on crack. I grew up, believe me, bro.
The majority of black people don't grow up with their parents doing drugs, so that is not a good example of African American culture.
Well, that's my experience.
Living that way.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Majority of black people were not victim of crack.
What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? You're saying that most black people grew up with crack moms and crack daddies? Is that what you're saying?
I think it was like a social thing, man. Everybody did that.
No, man, don't say that. You're on a platform where a lot of African Americans.
That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true. But hold on, guys. We gotta take a commercial break. And everyone, if you have not caught the documentary yet, in search of Uhuru documentary, please go to searchforahuru.com. Again, please go to searchforahuru.com and make sure you purchase the documentary. Again, please go to searchforahuru.com. Link is in the chat room, and also link is on the screen. Make sure you go to searchforahuru.com and buy the documentary. I greatly appreciate it. If you are watching this, and if you have not bought the documentary yet, go buy the documentary, family, and I greatly appreciate it. It's streamed, everyone. It is streamed. So once you buy it, it's yours for the rest of your life, and all you do is just stream it from any device once you set up your password. So again, go to searchforwho.com and buy the documentary. All right, go ahead.
And I bought the documentary, by the way. Just want to state that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hold on. Well, hold on. Stop the show. Lucky me. Have you bought the documentary yet?
No, I cash up you all the time, though. I will. I got you. I'm just trying to support either way, anyway. But I do cash up you all the time.
Yeah, so buy make sure you buy the documentary. Elvis, have you bought the documentary? Elvis, did you buy the documentary?
Dennis.
Huh?
Not yet, but I'll get it, Dennis. Probably today.
Dennis, please, please.
Will you see it? Will you see it if I buy it? Will you see that I bought it?
Absolutely, Elvis. Why haven't you bought the documentary yet, sir?
Hey, don't strong arm me, Dennis. I get it.
I'm not strong. I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
I'll get it.
I'm just asking.
I'll get it.
Dennis.
Don't strong arm.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just asking. Why haven't you bought the documentary yet?
Dennis, can I ask you, please?
Say that again. Hello.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go. Anonymous. Go ahead. Hey guys, links in the chat room. I don't know what's going on with some of these people. All right, so links in the chat room again. Go ahead.
Back to my point. Maybe crack wasn't the only form of. I don't know. But I just, from my environment, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Queens, man. And I just see all these people, their grandparents on crack and all that stuff. And I'm like, sometimes I could look at a kid and I just go, nothing good gonna come out this kid, man. Nothing.
Where you grew up around Kensington Avenue, around that area?
You talking about Kensington Avenue? Where's that at? I never heard of that. Where's that at?
Okay.
I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, and in the Bronx, I grew up in the South Bronx.
Okay.
Very good.
For me,
as I said it before, the claim that everybody was doing that is intellectually disingenuous and it's historically inaccurate. The majority of Black people do not engage in criminal activity to make a living. The majority of Black people do not abuse drugs. This is just the reality. I know that the media may promote that type of narrative, and you might even see things like that in your own local community, but that's not reflective of the 45 million African Americans that live in the United States of America.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, especially African American women. They have some of the highest rate of success amongst African Americans. I mean, and Donis, I want to say this to you personally, Donis. This platform, I respect the fact that you let a lot of people come on here and give their opinions, but you got to uplift your community a little bit more, man. You do a lot of down talking to them. It's kind of heartbreaking sometimes.
I love
Brandon
this guy,
does
man.
the same thing.
Dynasty
And I would like to see more uplifting things on your platform about African American people. It's not always about the Pookies and the Ray Rays or whatever. You got to bring some positive things that's happening in your community so we can see it. You do a lot of good things in Africa. I want to see that reciprocated back to the African American community. I just wanted to say that about
Elvis. You just go by the documentary, okay? Go by the documentary, all right?
Don't screw
all right. Al. Go ahead, Al.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Nice to see you again too. Long time.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Long time. Can you hear me? Yeah, exactly. Yo, I was gonna say, why is Elvis so negative all the time, man? I don't like that sort of vibe that he's giving in the show. Honestly, Elvis, why are you so negative, man?
When you say negative, go ahead.
Elvis is one of the most
let me tell you why Elvis is negative. I think we have similar stories, man. I think he's experienced the same thing I've experienced.
No. For me, I'm a realist. I'm not a person who's gonna be idealistic and give pipe dreams. I want to understand what the brother's saying. Go ahead. I want to get your point. Why do you think I'm negative?
Elvis, I know you're gonna marry a white woman later. The what I'm seeing.
The thing about me, I'll tell you this. People say this. I'm almost the opposite. I've never dated a black. I've never dated a white woman. I've never dated an African American woman. I've only dated Liberian women. That's the only kind of people that I date. I have a type and I stick to it.
You're Liberian, yeah? What tribe are you, Elvis? Are you Crew or Gregor?
I'm crying. Well, I'm from the Crew people of Liberia also. They're all from the Southeast.
Okay.
But go ahead. You say I'm negative. Go ahead.
You always try to distance yourself from African American issues, and also you're always trying to talk down on them in some kind of way. You get me?
You said talk down. Be specific. Be specific when you say I try to talk down.
This is not the first time. This is not the first time I heard you on this show, man.
No, go ahead. Give me an example if you think I try to talk down on them.
Someone already did. Someone already gave examples. Yeah.
Like what? Shay, I didn't get it. If somebody said it, I didn't get it. Say it again. Let me hear it.
No, I don't have to keep repeating myself. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, be a big man.
No. Hey, bro. If you're gonna make a point that I'm negative, fine. That's a good point. But be more specific. What's the negativity that I'm spewing out on this platform?
Start from Liberia. I heard you on the Liberian topic in the past. You're always trying to make up like American Liberians were the bad ones that came to Liberia and destroyed the country. The native Liberian were the better ones.
I never said that. Number one, I've never said that.
You was arguing that. Listen.
No. I've never said the native Liberian was the better one. I've never said that.
Everyone but you might as well say it. Yeah.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. I see you on the other platform. I see you on the other platform that I'm on Focus on Liberia. I see you on that platform as well. And I never even knew you wasn't Liberian. So to say that, I like I say all the time, I came on this platform.
I'm a Sierra Leonean born in Liberia, but forget about that, yeah? The thing is, I noticed that you always kind of negative towards African Americans, like especially the American Liberians.
Be specific, my guy. Be specific. How am I negative?
I just told you.
No. You can't say I'm negative when I point out the wrongs that American Liberians did. I also point out the wrong that Native Liberian did. Like I said, I came on this platform when Kala was only talking about the positive and never mentioned some of the negative things that happened. So I'm never negative. I see a lot of people come on this platform and they're being disingenuous. They will try to say everything is all good. They love African American. There's nothing bad. There's no separation. We're all one. And Africans American will tell you the same thing, that sometimes they don't feel that same connection with African people. There's a difference. There's a divide. We've been separated for over 400 years. We're not the same kind of people. Our culture is different.
No, but
You know,
we are the
there's
same. We are the same
some
kind of
difference
people.
between us.
We are the same kind of people.
We're not the same people.
Obviously,
Why would you say that? Who are you trying to pander to? Don't try to pander to anybody.
No,
We're not the same.
It's
Culturally, we're not. That doesn't mean
exactly what I'm trying
we
to say.
can't have some common grounds, but we're not the same people.
Let me
Don't
speak.
say that.
However, you know, as you said, culturally we're different. Just like in Africa.
Okay, there you go.
You know,
Now you're being straightforward.
Yeah, just like in Liberia, you know there are a lot of different tribes in Liberia that you're culturally different to.
100%.
Or you wouldn't sit there, and you will not sit there and try to say, oh, wait, I'm different to, you know, to the Shabro, I'm different to the Mende. Well, suppose you do anyway, because you tend to try to segregate yourself to the others. But the reality is that's not the right attitude. You know, we're one community trying to build up. People are trying to build up a community here, coming on this platform all the time and trying to be negative towards the next group. It doesn't make no sense, and I don't like that as a brother. Yeah, I don't like that.
Hey man, you gotta be honest with yourself first of all. You gotta be honest with yourself. When there are two different words, different and the same. Being different and being the same is completely different.
I'm being actually being a decent human being. That's it.
You're pandering. That's called trying to pander. You know, if there's one thing about me that I am, I'm honest. If I come on this platform, I'm going to be as honest to myself and as honest to the people as possible.
Regardless of the color of your skin or the culture or whatever you come from, yeah. If you're not a decent human being, you're not a decent human being, right? So you're
just pandering, my friend. If you ask an African American if they're the same as Africans, they always told me in middle school, I'm not no damn African. I'm not African. I'm not African. They'll tell you that to your face. So if they say they're not African, then you're not African Americans. What's the big deal about it? What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove?
The culture is different. Yeah.
The culture is different. So that's a difference.
However,
even our phenotypes, our genealogy is kind of different. There's some admixture in most African Americans. Most Africans don't have that admixture of European blood. There's a difference there.
We face the same oppression.
So these are things that's different about us. That doesn't mean that I hate African Americans, but you got to be honest and say, yeah, there's some differences there. There's nothing wrong with saying there's differences. It's not like you hate somebody if you say, oh, that person doesn't look like me, or we don't share the same culture. There's nothing wrong with that. What are you trying to pander for?
This is the reason why we don't get on in Africa, man. You know, this is exactly one of the
reasons. I swear to God.
This is exactly why we don't get on. We always gonna have tribal wars.
You don't even understand. You call yourself an African, you don't understand.
We give all the wealth to our enemies, yeah. Why they laughing at us?
Is a Hausa the same as an Igbo? Is a Hausa person the same as an Igbo person? No, they have different values. They have different culture. The difference.
What kind of black man name himself Elvis anyway?
Well, I would say this, if I could chime in very quickly.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
If I could chime in very quickly, I've always taken the position that African Americans are an ethnic group of African people, just like Jamaican Americans and Haitians and so on and so forth. We are an ethnic group of African people. Yes, we are African people. Of course, I have a Pan-Africanist mindset. And so I view myself as an African American, as a member of the African community.
I see the
I am a member of an ethnic group of African people that, of course, was created of course, the Western Diaspora.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Remember, where are you from?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
I'm an African American. I'm from Ohio, born and raised.
Wow. I was thinking that you were African, like native African.
I changed my name 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Man. We face the same oppression.
I changed my name 15 years ago.
Stop that divide and conquer shit.
But you know what, yeah? You know what, Brother Lumumba, you look exactly like an African.
I want to answer the brother's question. I want to answer the brother's question. Brother Anam is asking a question. What inspired me? What inspired you? When I went to college, I majored in Black Studies, and I became cognizant of the fact that the name that I had was a slave name, right? It was representative of colonialism, imperialism, racism, and slavery. And I thought that it was improper for me as a Black man, as a person of African descent, to walk around and carry a European name. And I also wanted to make sure that when I had children, that I wouldn't pass along to them a European name, a slave name, a name that was representative of the legacy of course, ownership, that we were owned by a group of people. So that was my reason for doing that.
What name do you answer now? What name do you answer now? What is
The
your
name I have, my name now is
name
Buckhead.
currently? Yes.
Respect,
Come again.
respect, man.
Pardon? I can't hear you. Well,
Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe, and also make sure you go and buy the documentary. Again, make sure you go to buy the documentary. Link is in the chat room. Search for Uhuru.com. Go and buy the documentary.
Dennis, please, can I ask you, please?
Go ahead.
Can you give us like some other time? Maybe you give me times. Let's discuss about the election in Nigeria. The Tinubu,
Do me a favor. Send me an email. Go to searchforhuru.com. The link's right there. Buy the documentary and send me an email, and we can set it up. No problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Everyone, till next time, family. That is Search for Huru. Peace.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
He